What's up, YouTube? I'm back again, second video for today, and I can't lie, I was getting into this whole new documentary thing, and so Jesus, he talked to me. It says in the Word that God is a spirit, and those who worship Him in spirit and truth. Now, in this life, people they have what they would like to call a spiritual guide or spiritual influence, but we live in a world full of spirits, full of many gods, smaller KGs, and things of that nature. But there is only one God, there is only one Christ, and that is Jesus Christ. Now we can go back and forth all day and argue, Jesus said this, Jesus said that. I mean, everyone has their own belief, but I'm going to tell you today as my personal testimony that I found who I was spiritually, because inside of us we're all spiritual beings. There's a process that God Himself, who is the creator of the world, He goes through a process. First, He creates your spirit, and then He creates your body. Your body is basically created when you're in your mother's womb. The Lord said in His Word that before I formed you, I knew you. So the Lord has already known the plans that He has for you since the beginning of time. And the reason why you're here at this particular time is to first seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added. Even me, the Lord kind of spoke to me, and He said, that I want these things. I want the things. We all want the nice house, and we have the big vision of, but it says in the Word to seek ye first the kingdom of God. And my job as a evangelist, as a believer, is to show you and to lead you to Christ. I'm not going to say that it's going to be easy. Some of you guys' path might be easy. Some of you, it might be a little tough. The reason I say is because even Jesus said in one of His parables about this young lady, this young girl actually, and the apostles could not cast out this particular demon in her. And He said that the only way to cast out this demon was through fasting and through praying. There is a spiritual world that a lot of people don't want to talk about. And the ones who don't want to talk about it, they will stay in that place until they accept that there is something beyond our physical being that we have basically no control over. That's why we must worship God in spirit and in truth. In spirit and in truth, what does that mean? Well, to be in the spirit means to meet God at a particular place. That means even when we pass away, that our bodies stay here, but our spirit goes to a place with other spirits. Now, we heard people before say, let's just say you couldn't make it to a wedding, and you would tell somebody, well, I can't make it to the wedding physically, but I'll be there in spirit, meaning my heart, my mind, my soul, my body will be there. Meaning that the Creator, who's the creator of this world, He is the Spirit, and He lives in a place, and He dwells in a place beyond our natural minds. But everything has to do with faith. Everything is a faith walk. It says that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities in high places. Principalities is kingdoms and things of darkness and things of light. They go back and forth. We have angels of light. We have angels of darkness. And I'm not going to get into all that. I will as we go and as the Spirit leads me. But I believe that God, He told me to come back to really give you guys my testimony and to understand why I do the things that I do. I'm not doing this thing just for fans and, famous. And I think when you get into all that, you kind of forget your mission. My mission is to tell you guys from the heart, for real. There is a God of this universe. If you want to call Him Yeshua HaMashiach, if you want to call Him Elohim, whatever, if you want to call him Yahweh. He has so many names. But he is alive, and he is the one who has created us. And his job and to make to his other disciples and followers is to make other disciples. The whole plan of God is for man to have dominion upon this earth, for man to be in one unison with God. God said, let us create man in our own image. And what he meant, just like I said, the process that he first created Adam's spirit, because God is a spirit. And as you turn into Genesis 2, you see after that he took the dust and then created his body. So technically, God, he created whatever year you were born, that's when God began to create your body. But you being the spiritual being who you are, you had already been created since the beginning of time. And it's this time that God has called you to make new disciples upon this earth. And the government, they know what the deal is. They know about the government. The government knows more about spiritual things than some of the believers. They know how to work the atmosphere. That's why they have so much intelligence, because they have an intellect of spiritual beings that understand kingdom things. That's how they're able to do supernatural things. They can create machines that can kind of resurface the weather. They can do all that. But their God is not the God that we serve. The God that they serve is another being. But like I said, that's another discussion for another day. You know, I had to come from the heart, man. You know, all that. You know, God, he can prosper us. But there's a bigger battle that's going forth for this earth. You know, and in the meantime, we have to start listening to what God's word is saying. Keep your ears open and your eyes open at all times. But I got to get back to what I'm doing, and then I will put another message of what's going on. But first and foremost, this was the most important thing that I had to do. Not claiming that I know everything, because there's some brothers that they know the word, but they still don't know the word. They got the knowledge, but they don't have the belief. You know, just like that man said, I believe, but help me with my unbelief. A lot of people, they got the knowledge, they don't have the belief. So with that being said, I'll get back with y'all. I'm getting this word for you guys, so I can relate to what the Creator is saying to his people. You guys are more important than me. It's more important than prophecy. It's more important than whatever's people saying. God just wants his people back. That's all. That's what he loves. He loves his people, but he loves order too. So all that, you know, you get in the car, you can get all that. God can release millions of dollars to you today, but that don't mean that you're going to get the lesson that you were supposed to get. My lesson was to love man, love God's people, love myself, understanding who I am, breaking the barriers off my family, breaking the curses off my family. But here's the thing, people, they'll tell you, oh, you're getting too deep. And sometimes when we go to the deep end, we begin to drown if we keep our focus off the Most High. You see what I'm saying? See, Peter, he wanted to go to the deep, so he had to leave his people behind. And once he started going to the deep, he noticed, and he left his focus. So when you're going in the deep, don't worry about if people saying that you're going too deep. When people saying that, that means you on your way. So we got a fight on our hands. We got children. Listen to this music. We need to get them out of there. Get their heads back in the book. We need to get back to basics. We need to get back or into uplifting our people. This crab-like mentality, this crab barrel mentality, that's enough money for everybody. Listen. Like I said, everybody's not going, God's already prepared me. Everybody ain't going to agree with me. I can't do nothing. All love to my Muslim brothers. All love to Jehovah's Witness. Y'all got deep knowledge. But what I seen in the spiritual realm, can't nobody take that from me. Nobody can take from what I experience. That's why you got to have a spiritual walk with the Most High. That's why you have to have a spiritual walk with Yahshua. Because if you don't have that spiritual walk, then anybody can come with knowledge, because there's knowledge everywhere. They can uproot you. That's why you got to be stuck to it, because this stuff is real. This ain't no joke. This life ain't no joke. The things that's on you is kingdom things. Is principalities. You wondering why you can't get out of this, can't get out of that. It's principalities that's on you. And you can only be released in seasons. And in knowledge. And in fighting. Like the Most High told me yesterday. It says in the word that hope deferred make the heart grow weaketh. Hope deferred in the heart, and that's why a lot of people, they give up and they go to other religions. Because Yahshua said that narrow was the way. He didn't say this walk was going to be easy. You might lose some things. It says those who lose their mind will gain their mind. It says in the word that I must decrease so he can increase. You might lose some people. You might lose that popular attitude. You might lose everything. You might be lonely in this walk. People, they gonna call you out. They gonna call you fake, sadiddy. They gonna call you all types of names, and you gonna want to stay in that place. But when you know truth, ain't no going back. Ain't no going back when you know truth. Those things on you can be released. You gotta know. It said, my people suffer for lack of knowledge. But it says faith without works is dead also. So you can have the knowledge. That can increase your faith. But if you don't walk by faith, it ain't gonna work. This is my faith. I'm putting my faith. God told me yesterday. Most High told me yesterday, start making videos. He said it's my time. I'm not doing this to blow up. I ain't trying to be no big pastor. I didn't want to be a pastor. I didn't want to be an apostle. I didn't want to do none of that. I wasn't even thinking about God. I wasn't in the streets, but I was in them streets. And it's been a long journey. I had to go to new heights for this. For even this, even to reach you, I asked the Most High yesterday, why am I even still alive? Man, the devil, he tried to take me out so many times. He tried to take my mind, tried to take my family, tried to take my soul, my joy, my everything. But I'm still here standing. And he did all that just to expose himself. So, world, this universe, now that this new world we live in, as they like to call it, the world of technology, he said that the gospel had to be basically, the world will come to an end once the gospel will be spread around the world. That's part of it. God has a plan for his people. You have to take control of your mind. Ask yourself this. Why are you angry? Why is the world so angry all of a sudden? It's not normal for people to be just angry. People, it's something, it's not right. Logically, is anybody thinking about that? Let's just say, even for people with different religions, so you telling me you about to kill a man because he got different religion from you? Come on, B. That don't even sound right. I don't care if somebody don't, I'm like this. You don't want to follow what I follow. I don't care. I don't argue the word. I ain't got to. So you gotta ask yourself, who in there talking to this person's mind to tell somebody, premeditated, go do this, because it's steps to sinning. It's steps to sinning, and the devil's people, like I said, it ain't you that's thinking about that. That spirit would tell you, give you a whole plan to do something. Ain't that crazy? And what the enemy here do, that's just you. And scientists would back it up. Yeah, that's just how your brain is just, that's how you are. That's how your people was. No, that's some principalities that you need to get cast out. That's what that is. That's exactly what that is. But I ain't gonna sit up here and lie to you and tell you that, hey, as soon as that happened, because that spirit said in Matthew, it said once the spirit is cast out of a man, he goes into places seeking rest and he cannot find it. And he says to himself, I will come back to the body which I came from. And when he sees that the house has been swept clean, he will return with 7 more spirits even more wickeder. So what's that saying? So every time somebody gets delivered, a spirit is cast out, but that spirit said that he will bring back, I don't know if it was 6 or 7, but I believe it was 7. That means that one will bring back 7, which make 8. So when that 8 is cast out, they bring 7 more. So if the 8 bring back 7 each, let's just do the math. Now that's 56. That's why Jesus said, do not sin no more unless the sin will be even greater than what it was the first time. So that 56, so what happens when that 56 get cast out? That 56 bringing back 7. What that make? And this is every time we get delivered, it gets harder. Why you think it gets harder? Here it is. So that 56, 35, let's see, 392. So just from 4 times being delivered, you got 392. How old you think these spirits are? You think these spirits like 3 years old? They said the enemy took 1/3. 1/3 of what? 1/3 of what? How much of the 1/3 was it though? How many angels you think God made? You think he made like 20? So 1/3 of 20? You think God just gonna make that? Come on. People, stop dabbling in stuff. Stop opening up doors. Stop doing all that witchcraft. Stop. Yeah. You doing that for a little while. It's working. It's probably been working in your family for a long time. Let me tell you. But you're going to get messed up in the end. And if you don't get messed up, your child's going to get messed up. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's working. But most of the time, it's only working for people who are in sin. So people who doing curses on people, them people, they already open to sin. You ain't doing it on no believer. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know why I'm going this direction, but I'm going to this direction. Looking straight at you. It's only going to work for so long. Just saying. So you can get in divination. You can scare the unbeliever. You're not scaring me. You're gonna have a fight on your hand. So I don't know why I went that direction, but that's the way it went. So it's my introduction. You're gonna be seeing a lot of me. I'll tell you right now, I'm one of the devil's worst enemies. He hate me and I hate him. So I ain't no fool when it come down to this. And I love God's people. So subscribe, okay? We're gonna talk a little bit more about the word. I'm gonna I'm gonna give y'all some more lessons, whatever the Most High tells me to go with this. I'm gonna listen to him. You know, this is a slave that's a free man now. And who better to tell other slaves how to get free than the slave who's now a free man? All right, y'all.